Okie doke, okie doke. Hello to my air zodiac signs. This is your reading for November of 2022. So what we're going to do today is we are going to get an archetypes card out for your theme card for November of 2022, and that'll apply to all three zodiac signs here. So for my Cancers, my Scorpios, and my Pisces. Also with that, for kind of our theme cards, we're going to pull an alchemy card. So that's going to be how the energy is transforming in the month of November 2022. So with those two kind of out on the table here, that energy is the overall theme and how that energy is going to be transforming for the the water zodiac signs. I just did the air. So with that, then we'll hop into the more specific reading for each of the zodiac signs with the Santa Muerte. We're going to pull out 3 cards for each sign, and it'll kind of be up to you for what's going to resonate, but it can be a past, present, future. It could be for specific situations. I'll just kind of read them as they apply in totality to the theme cards, and then for that specific sign and kind of what's going on, okay? So let's get started here. So we'll get Santa out of the way, and then we're going to pull our first card here from Archetypes and get our theme for my water zodiac signs for November of 2022. So archetypes, please give me the theme. What energy is going to be the theme for November of 2022 for our water zodiac signs for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces? Top card, the Siren. Surprise, surprise. That is a water energy if I've ever seen a water energy. Okay, so we got the Siren. So I'll kind of have that up over here out of the way for the moment, and we'll pull our alchemy card next. Okay, alchemy with Siren out on the table here. What is the energy that's transforming for our water zodiac signs in November of 2022 for our Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces? What is the energy that is transforming? How is energy transforming for our water zodiac signs? Thank you. A good easy flip. Venus. Okay. Off the bat here, we definitely have some similar color energy here, kind of that pinky purple red color here. So here's a good close-up look at both of our cards, the Siren and Venus. I have not yet gotten Venus out of this deck. It's still a fresh deck, newer deck for me, so it's cool to see new cards come out that I haven't seen yet before. So we got the Siren and Venus. Let's take a little bit closer look at this theme energy here for you water zodiac signs. Okay, so my water zodiac signs here. There's some kind of obvious energy happening here. So we've got, this is one of the easier ones to kind of just read off the bat. So look at our, we've got kind of this gems kind of center energy right here in both of these with both Venus and Siren. There is kind of triangular energy here. If we look at our tail of the Siren here, we have a triangle shape here and a triangle shape here with Venus as well. We're playing into desire here for November of 2022 here, water zodiac signs. If you think about the Siren, right, in the mythos for the Siren, that's a call, right? The Siren calling the people up on the ship to dive into the water. And sometimes this is good and bad, both, but the Siren energy here is that deeper calling, that longing, that desire, right? And Venus over here, all about our desires, our sensuality, beauty and delights and things that we love and want to have in our lives. That's energy is very, very similar here. Where definitely there's desire is heavy in both of these cards here. So that's kind of the theme that's showing up here for November 2022 here, water zodiac signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Of course, also we have water energy here with a Siren, which is very interesting to kind of note of, and why I was laughing as the Siren card came out. Water signs, Siren, ocean, all that energy. You also think about Venus over here, and Venus rising out of the waves. That's kind of Siren energy tying in here with Venus as well. So strong energy here. We're definitely looking at what our values are, what we desire, what we care about, what gives us pleasure, what we are longing for, what is deep kind of inside ourselves in those depths of the ocean, right? Our emotions are that water energy. Our emotions are that ocean. Ocean is our emotions. So we're diving deep into that with the Siren energy here this month, and finding out what this gem is, what this deeper calling is, what our deeper desires are. And Venus talks about those desires and values as well, right? ruling over those emotions and pleasures and sensualities and love and emotion at the same time too. So we're going to take a little bit deeper look with each individual sign and see how this energy is going to apply to each individual sign here in the next portion. So I will see you in your specific readings, my Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So see you over there. Bye. Hello, Cancer. So let us get into your specific reading here for November of 2022. We'll pop our cards up here out of the way as we work with the Santa Muerte deck to get our 3 cards. So, okay, Santa Muerte with Siren and Venus out on the table here. Okay, thank you. It knows what it's doing now. Okay, I need 2 more cards, please, for November 2022 for Cancers. With Siren and Venus, what do we need to know? Okay, thank you. 1 more card, please. No, just 1. You can do a reveal or just 1. Okay. Are you sure about the 2? Okay, we'll take this one since it is, but I will take a peek at this just to see. Queen of Cups. So we'll have her like hang out up here. Okay. So let's pull our cards down. Okay. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse. We have the Knight of Swords, interesting, that came out for a different zodiac sign. And then we have the 2 of Cups in reverse. Okay. Okay, interesting energy here, Cancer. This will be an interesting reading as well because I have a Cancer moon. So I usually take a great deal of interest in whatever Cancer reading I do as well. So, okay. We'll just have our Queen of Cups hanging out up there. She kind of came out in the reverse too, but we'll just pay attention to that. So here is our spread, Cancers. Let us take a little bit deeper look into what we've got. Okay, Cancers. So I can't help but think about like what's going on in my own life as I'm kind of looking at our spread here for November of 2022. So we've got the Hanged Man in reverse, we've got the Knight of Swords, and we've got the 2 of Cups in reverse. So interesting to note with our Cups energy over here, we also have the Queen of Cups. So these ones are kind of interesting to take note of together here. But with our Hanged Man, right? So Hanged Man's usually the energy where we have ourselves up on a ledge. The Hanged Man has put himself up there, hanging upside down in order to kind of get a new perspective, a new look on life. But it's also an energy that like stagnates in order to get perspective and that we can move out of at any given time. However, with the Hanged Man coming in reverse here, there is a bit of a difference for how we are progressing or looking at the world. There is, how do I want to say this? There's a feeling like we're potentially missing an opportunity, right? If we are not diving in with this Siren energy, with this Venus energy, we have a great chance to miss a really good opportunity that's presenting itself to us, right? We have put ourselves up on this like ledge, like we've hung ourselves up here, right? We looked at our hangman in the upright, so the head hanging on there and above the situation. But with it coming in reverse, we are preventing ourselves from kind of taking this leap, taking a dive into this greater energy over here with the Siren. That's where that kind of missing opportunity comes in. It's talking about a lack of like commitment to something, or the potential for it at least, right? If we take a look at our Knight of Swords over here, right? The Knight of Swords is that commitment energy, that very decisive energy coming in, looking at a situation that's at hand, making deliberate choices and deliberate decisions, thinking things through. This is the energy of the mind, right? Our swords is that air sign. It is the sign of the mind. in the tarot, so looking specifically at the situation and with clarity of thought, right? And the Knight moves forward with purpose. When I was, the Knight of Swords came out in a different reading, I think it was for Libra, right? Libra talking about balance, and this Knight of Swords here, it's swallowing the sword. That takes a lot of skill in order to not be hurt and to do it with deliberate action. So that energy kind of moving forward here. And then with our Two of Cups over here, right? Twos are that rebalancing of energy. The heart space is a very heavy focus over here with both of the cards, with our Queen of Cups coming in over here, and then with our Two of Cups. Look at all these hearts right here. The heart's in the center of the chest of the two skeletons, and then this Queen of Cups energy presenting this heart energy. So especially with Venus out here, especially with Venus being present in this reading, for that is love, that is that energy of the emotion, the deeper emotions, the feeling, those deeper callings of our soul here, right? That's that siren energy. So really looking at the situation at hand, what the siren is calling us to do, what's the siren's calling us in for a deeper energy, right? We're talking about the siren, and I was talking about emotions and the emotions in the ocean, right? And that's this cup energy as well. The water energy is the cups, is that our emotions, our feelings, that deeper energy. So what that deeper feeling is here that is being called to us from the siren, that deeper energy. And if we're not listening to it, if we're not moving forward with it, with deliberate energy of this Knight of Swords here, we're going to miss it. That's this Hanged Man coming in over here in the reverses. If we're not paying attention, it's almost like these cards need to be like this. It's kind of how these cards need to be, right? If we're trying to look at a linear here, let me rearrange a little bit. If we're trying to look at a linear progression here, right? If we're not moving with deliberate energy of the Knight of Swords here, this kind of showing up like this. If we put it in the reverse, then it's like, okay, this is kind of what it leads to, right? So if we're not making a deliberate choice here for presenting our energy, presenting our heart, following our passions over here, right? The Queen of Cups is that passion. It is that energy. Sorry, as I just keep rearranging the cards here to kind of fit the narrative that's presenting ourselves. So we have pain and fear that's coming in with the Two of Cups over here, right? And if we don't move with deliberate energy of the Knight of Swords here, then we are missing an opportunity. We're missing something that is big and important, right? The siren energy and the Venus energy. This is like the passions. This is the deeper calling of our soul almost at this point, right? If we look at Venus, and it's interesting as I'm kind of comparing things in my own life here and the situations, and this Knight of Swords energy, which was Libra and reading I just did, and Venus is that balancing energy ruled by Libra, but it's also like our passions and our emotions and our feelings and our desires and how our life balances, right? And our Hanged Man is talking about that balance, talking about how we can move forward in our situation, in our life, with a new perspective if it's in the upright, but then we are missing an opportunity. We're keeping ourselves hung up here by not moving forward and not listening to this call of the siren over here. The Hanged Man in reverse with the siren energy, right? That's going against the flow. This energy, the water moving, and it's like swimming upstream, up the currents and moving against the currents versus actually like letting us take it. The universe here is present and showing this opportunity here, this Queen of Cups energy. Like literally this heart is presented, like full on presented, like hands out 100%. Here's this opportunity. Here's what you've been wanting here. Look at the way these cards all have this center like kind of gem here, right? So it's like here's the heart, here's the siren, like gem, and then Venus over here, gem, right? Look at this energy and opportunity being presented here for us, Cancer. This energy is very, very strong. So this deeper calling here showing up, right? Leading us to many great opportunities. And this opportunity, if you are somebody who is single and looking for love, that's this energy here too, right? There's a lot of fear and loss, a feeling of loss or potential, the feeling of what we have to lose sorry, I'm getting the energy here. What needs to be let go of in order for everything to progress, right? So there is, in November here of 2022, the energy we're really looking at is the deeper calling of our soul, the deeper calling that is the siren, that is this Venus energy, what we desire, and moving forward with that energy deliberately, right? Choosing to move forward in a powerful, decisive manner, making those choices that the Knight of Swords would make, just with deliberate, consistent action. The energy of the Knight of Swords is a little bit more subtle. It's not the most forceful, forward-moving knight in all of the suits, but it's that subtle mind energy, really thinking about things and moving forward with deliberate thoughts to this other energy that is presented here with the Queen of Cups and the Siren and Venus and even the Two of Cups here. What I feel that's mostly coming out here for the Two of Cups specifically, though, is like this lack of harmony that we have in our lives, right? The twos are that balance, that equal partnership, that give and take, right? And there's definitely always an element when the Two of Cups is coming out for a relationship, for love, that energy kind of being present. But also it's just in general talking about the harmony in our lives and talking about those emotions, right? The Cups is that emotions, that water energy. And of course, with this being a reading for water zodiac signs, we have a lot of water out on the table as well here, right? Siren is 100% water energy here. Queen of Cups is a water energy. The Two of Cups is the water energy. And heavy focus for the water signs. And there's water energy in the Venus over here as well. Venus rules over Libra and Taurus, but with the Venus energy coming out, right? Coming out of like the ocean, that kind of picture, right? We do get that blue water kind of emotions and energy because we're talking about our desires, which is our emotions and those deeper feelings, right? So there is a lack of balance in our life currently here in November of 2022 we're looking at with the Two of Cups energy here. Opportunity and is being presented to us and following the call of the siren, following the call of our desires, which is this Venus energy and this Queen of Cups energy here as well, right? So we need to move forward with deliberate action with the Knight of Swords here and with deliberate thoughts and giving thought and emotion to all this emotion that is out on the table here, giving deliberate energy to it. And that way, with all that taking place, we don't miss out on an opportunity here with the reversed Hanged Man. A lot of energy almost here too, right? There's a storm kind of surrounding this figure and they're in the water as well. So deep water energy here. We're talking of heavy emotions for all of this energy here. And we don't want to miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime here, Cancers, with this deeper calling for us. So strong energy here, Cancer. It was a little harder to read because I'm applying it so heavily into my own life as well. I'll be curious when I get into Virgo because of how this energy is progressing for myself as well, but just shows me the accuracy of the reading here for us and what's kind of taking place. So are definitely heavy themes here of desire and calling and listening to our emotions and our feelings here, okay, Cancer? So take some time, really figure out what you want, really figure out what you value, what you desire, what you hold dear with this Knight of Swords energy, so we can move forward now with deliberate action as we progress into the later months, as we progress into December, into the next year, okay? So hopefully, Cancer, that resonates, makes sense. Definitely a strong reading here and one I understand quite well. So feel free to leave any comments or questions down in the comment section below. I'll be happy to help out because we are in the same boat here together on this ocean with the siren calling to us. So I'd be happy to help you out if you feel like you need it. But that is all I have for us today. I will see you next month in December. Bye, Cancer. Hello, Scorpios. So let us get your specific reading here for November of 2022 with the Siren and Venus out on deck here. So let's put these up and use our Santa Muerte. So we'll get 3 cards here. It's going to be up to you for how you want to take them, depending on what feels right to you. But we'll pull out 3 cards. It could be past, present, future, just specific situations. But Santa Muerte, please give me 3 cards for Scorpios for November 2022 in regard to the Siren and Venus. What is that energy that's taking place for them? 3 cards, please. 1, 2. Kind of figured it out now. It's That one, because that one's down and with it. Okay, nothing else turned over. Yes, it's kind of funny now at this point because Santa and I have figured this out together, and Santa pops down the 3 cards pretty much like this now, which is really nice. Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups for card 1. For card 2, we also have the Knight of Swords. Very interesting. That is the 3rd time this has popped out in this position as well. And then reverse 2 of Cups, which is also the same. And the 3rd position as it was for Cancer. So, okay. So, my Scorpios here, you have a very similar energy that was taking place with Cancer. So, we'll see how this reading differs a little bit, but it might end up being pretty similar overall. We are missing 1 card that did come out for Cancer specifically. They did have 4 cards that popped out, but it is interesting that we also have double Cups energy here and the Knight of Swords and the 2 of Cups literally in the same positions as they were for Cancer. So, Knight of Swords also came out for Libra, I believe, in the Air Zodiac reading. So, let us see here. Okay, get this situated, lined up a bit. Okay. Oh, sorry, I want the top. So, nice and even now. That is my Virgo coming out for the details here. So, let's take a little bit of a closer look at this. Okay, my Scorpios, it's... I just can't help but like really laugh at what the Santa Muerte deck did over here, because there's a lot of cards in this deck. Obviously it's a tarot deck. There's 78 cards in a tarot deck. This shuffles really well, so you saw my shuffling process here, and it's really funny to me that 2 of the exact same cards came out in the exact same position. But that's just how the Santa Muerte is. It's very has a very strong energy and a very kind of strict energy. Sometimes it knows what it wants to say. So I am not surprised that that happened as a thing. I'm surprised that the energy that is the exact same came out for Cancer and Scorpio so similarly. But we'll see what happens with my Pisces in the next section of the video. But energy does end up being a little bit different here than Cancer specifically, because this card over here is so different. With 7 of Cups energy on deck here, right? We have lots of choices ahead of us and lots of options. So 7 of Cups can sometimes be talking about confusion with the choices we have, right? So we have 7 different cups available to us here, right? We see 3 on each row here, so 6 total, and 1 in the hand of our figure here. So lots of options and choices, and we see our heart kind of popping up here, which matches with the hearts and the 2 skeletons over here with our reverse 2 of Cups. But with the options available, we're trying to figure out which one is our siren call over here, right? We're trying to figure out which one is this gem, this heart, that what is in which cup it is over here, right? Which is that higher desire, that calling that's showing up with our Venus and our siren both here, and which cup it might be in, because there's lots of different options and passing varieties of things we might be able to do, of ways we might be able to proceed forward in our given situation, right? So through November of 2022, we're really looking at what options are available to us, what we need to do in order to rebalance. Rebalancing comes in with our reverse 2 of Cups over here, right, with our 2 figures. So generally with 2 of Cups really shows up in context of love and relationships, of course. We see one figure pouring into the other figure here. So we can be talking about like our relationships, specifically our significant other. We can be talking about other relationships in our lives too, our familiar relationships, our family, our friends, platonic, romantic, like any kind of situation pops up with relationships with the 2 of Cups here. With it coming in reverse, though, there is the rebalancing that's kind of taking place here. To reverse 2 of Cups is really asking us to look at our emotions, look at our deep values. I'm pulled into talking about the 2nd house really with this card too. That 2 is very important in this case for like, okay, hey, what is our values? What do we care about? And we need to rebalance that situation in our life here, making sure our values are matching up with our actions in this case, right? That's that rebalancing energy here. And that is talking about that deeper call to ourselves, our deeper call to our lives, our situations. This is that Siren and Venus energy showing up here for the month of November specifically. So There is a lot of options on the table here in terms of Seven of Cups, which can lead to some confusion, but that's where this Knight of Swords energy comes in, right? Knight of Swords, swords are our mind, that's that air energy, so that is the process in our thinking, our mind, and how that works. And our Knight energy, very well versed in talking about him at this point, because he's popped out now for the third time. So our Knight energy here, right, if we're looking at it, I've been talking about this Knight here swallowing this sword energy specifically, right? So if we think about actual sword swallowing that happens in like, say, like a kind of like a circus type environment, right? That is a very particular skill, a very difficult skill, and one that you need to have a solid mastery over, complete mastery over in order to not hurt yourself, right? So if we're looking at our Knight of Swords here and them swallowing the sword, that is showing up here because we are making sure we have deliberate and clear thoughts and intentions with our actions coming in. The Knights are that forward moving energy. Page is usually kind of that like first introduction, the energy, the Knights moving in that energy. And then the King and Queen are those kind of masteries, depending on what side of the coin they're falling on, because it's that masculine and feminine energy both. So that Knight, our Knight here is that very forward moving energy. We may have made some choices already. We have this kind of clarity of thought showing up here from all the choices we were able to make, all the different options that were available to us with the Seven of Cups over here, as we're working to kind of rebalance our life, right? So what November for Scorpio here is asking you specifically is to really take a look at your life, at your situation, and make sure the choices you are making match up with your values here, match up with the deeper callings of your heart here. These are your feelings, your emotions, that intuition, that deep kind of blue oceany energy, right? So we got blue over here with our Seven of Cups because it's also a water card. And then of course we have a ton of water energy on the table here with both Siren and Venus as our theme cards. So really making sure we're in tune with our emotions, we're in tune with what we're feeling, in tune with what we desire, what we value here as we're rebalancing everything, rebalancing our relationships at all different levels, our friendships, our actual relationship, our familial ties, and just taking a deeper look, a deeper like in-depth look, really in-depth look with this Knight of Swords energy, this discernment energy that the Knight of Swords has to make sure everything can be rebalanced, is balanced for ourselves as we are choosing how to move forward in our life. This is, again, Knight of Swords, a forward moving energy as we're moving forward with the choices we have and options we're making with our Seven of Cups over here, figuring out which one the heart is in, which one this gem is in of these different options and choices we have. And if we're listening and paying to our intuition, paying attention to our intuition and emotions and stuff, then we know which cup we're taking here. We know which option we're going forward with, which option we're moving forward with, where this gem is hidden amongst these Seven of Cups over here. And we are going to be able to move forward with a good, progressive, strong, knowing energy with the Knight of Swords here, right? So it's almost like these kind of need to be flipped right here. So it is like, okay, hey, we don't know what's going on. We've been trying to rebalance things. We've been trying to figure out what we actually value, what we actually care about. We are figuring that out. These are almost taking place simultaneously. Kind of want to like stack them on top of each other here. They're taking place simultaneously, where it's like, okay, we're trying to figure out where our heart lies, pretty much, where our energy lies, and using the discernment energy of our Knight of Swords here in order to figure that out. So with you, Scorpio specifically, you kind of know what you're doing. Unlike Cancer energy, there was still a process of figuring out what this Knight of Swords energy is. Cancer had a few different cards on the table, but the call was a little bit different for the siren call is a little bit different for Cancer versus Scorpio here. So that's just kind of interesting for me to note and take place with so many cards similarly out on the table here. So you kind of know what you're figuring out here, Scorpio. You've kind of went through the process already where you figured out what cup you're going after here. You figured out what cup you're feeling, and you're just really making sure now that this matches up with this other energy here, right? Our deeper desires, what we find beauty and joy in here with Venus, what the siren is calling us down towards into those deeper emotions, those deeper depths, that deeper ocean. So like that subconscious, deeper, hidden, almost kind of shadow energy pops up with the siren over here. And using this really strong Knight of Swords energy here, that discernment that is available to us, and clarity of mind in order to make sure everything's going to be balanced in the end. Everything is going to be balanced with all of our partnerships, all of our values and calls and service and duties to action at the same time. So very interesting energy here, Scorpio. So you've already kind of been taking place in this process here. This has kind of already been happening is what it feels like. So it's just going to be keeping that momentum forward, making sure we're constantly checking in with ourselves, making sure we're still using this discernment energy with the Knight of Swords as we are making sure all these cups don't have anything secret that we weren't aware of, or that there's a secret energy gem call that we aren't maybe not paying attention to that we should have, as we keep rebalancing everything in our lives, rebalancing all of our situations, our desires, our every level of our lives, the career, the finances, the spirituality, the emotions, the partnerships, our love, like all those pieces, making sure everything is an equal balance of the two here, so we can get those Two of Cups in the upright position finally. And then with that coming in the upright here, we have those two. I want to place it almost right here, because it's like, okay, here's our two gems, right? Here's these two pieces, these two balanced things, finally like evening out, finally making sense for us as we move forward in our lives. So hopefully that makes sense, Scorpio. That is what is kind of going on for you for November 2022 as you keep working through this process here. So keep moving forward with it. It is a good energy that we have present on the table for you. And I'll be curious to see how this pans out and works through into December of 2022. So I will see you next month, Scorpio. Have a good day. Bye. Welcome, my last water zodiac sign, my Pisces here. So we've got the siren out and we got Venus out already. So let us see what the Santa Muerte brings out for us with our 3 cards and how this ties in with the energy that's already on the table here. So we'll get these kind of up out of the way as we're getting our 3 cards. Santa Muerte's gotten very used to this now at this point. So it's been giving the cards kind of face down, like read in order. So, okay. Santa Muerte, we are doing Pisces now for November of 2022 with the energy of the siren and Venus. What do we need to know specifically for Pisces? What do they need to know for November 2022? 3 cards, please. That was 3. I'd take it, but no, we need 3 cards, please. Also too many. Okay. Thank you. 1. Card 1. 2 more cards, please. You want to do that one? Okay. Card 2. And 1 more card. Card 3. Almost. Okay. There we go. And we have a reveal. Very nice. Okay. So we have the reverse Page of Wands. Get nice and close for that one. So reverse Page of Wands for card 1. Card 2 is the reverse Emperor. And then we have the reverse 2 of Wands here. Interesting. So all in reverse here, Pisces. So we'll see what that's all about here. Let's bring our cards back in focus here with our siren and Venus. So, okay. So it'll be up to you kind of how you want to look at it. I'll just kind of read it as a whole here, but this could be past, present, future for you. This could be last month, October. This is November. That's December. This could be the breakdown of the month of November for you. First part of November, mid part of November, last part of November, or it could just be specific situations that applies to you, however you decide you kind of want to look at it. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look at all these cards now. So my Pisces, we have been feeling this call of the siren for a little bit here, haven't we? And we have maybe not been paying attention to it or ignoring it, or not knowing that that was this deeper calling, and it just felt like it was a dream maybe, or just something that was kind of in the back of our heads versus this deep actual like internal deep emotional calling that we have here with the Siren and Venus. So with all of the cards coming out in the reverse for you here, Pisces, there is definitely a stall in energy. We have some stagnation that's going on here. We stall in energy, right? With the coloring that's even out here as I'm kind of paying attention, right? We have our wands out here. So Page of Wands and Two of Wands, and there's a lot of red coloring with that one. That makes sense because the wands represents that fire element, that represents our passion, our creativity, our vitality, that like the life, our energy, our force, right? And we have a lot of red in the Emperor card here as well. So there is a stalling, a lack of, or we're not listening to our passion. We're not listening to our creativity, that energy that wants us to move forward in this way. If we're looking at this gem here with the Siren, right? Look how deep that red energy is. That energy is, even though we're talking about water energy and the Siren and you being Pisces, along with my other water zodiac signs, which is our deep emotions, the deep ocean, right? There is that fire and passion here as well, with all this red energy coming out and all the red energy in. So first, like the stone and the Siren card here, and then in the cards themselves, right? So if we're looking a little bit closer at our Page of Wands here, right, focus in there, yeah, we see our red flowers down at the bottom. We see our figure here, our page in this red coloring clothing here, and just kind of chilling and hanging out on the swing. But with it being in reverse, there's a lack of forward moving energy here. There is lots of uncertainty. The page is kind of that starter energy in the suits, in the court card specifically, but there is the energy of like passion. When the page is upright, that passion is usually not refined yet. That passion is not placed in the proper way all the time. Maybe we don't have all the lessons and learnings behind it yet, versus like a king or a queen for the Swan's energy. But there's youth and vitality here, but with it coming in the reverse here, that energy can hinder us more than it's helping us. It's that lack of focus, right? If we have all this passion, all this fire, but we don't know how to direct it, how to move it, then we end up burning ourselves and hurting ourselves, actually. That is that Page of Wands energy coming in, where it's like, okay, hey, we don't know how to channel all this energy we have. We're not paying attention. We're not learning and listening to it. The Emperor is usually that very strict, kind of like strict father energy. The Empress is the mother energy of the entire tarot, and then the Emperor is that father energy, that counter to it. And that father energy archetype is that more strict, that focused energy in a, like, the hitting things in the proper manner, right? At the proper space, like proper pace, at the proper like place, so that way we're not wasting energy, right? But our Emperor's also in reverse here, and that means this energy, all this passion, all this fire, kind of fiery energy that we have here on the table, is just doesn't have any place to go. It's staying inside us, and it just keeps like burning hotter and hotter, and eventually it's going to hurt us if we're not careful in this regard. It shows up here with the Two of Wands in reverse as well, right? The Two of Wands, twos are that decision making, that balancing. The Two of Wands, when it's usually in the upright, is firm decisions and that leadership and taking charge and moving forward in a strong manner, right? Look at how firm and in control this Two of Wands person is here, or skeleton here, with these holding of the two guns here, and that's a very strong energy. But with it coming in the reverse here, we don't have clarity of mind and clarity of purpose and focus here as well. It's interesting to note here because there's been a buildup here of this passion, and you're hearing this siren call, Pisces. You've been hearing this siren call. You, more than anyone, is really connected to your emotions and the water and that deep, deep energy, right? Your Cancer feels the emotions in like a home kind of context, and then Scorpio feels the emotions in like a self and deeper worldly way. And then you Pisces are feeling it in an even deeper spiritual way, right? It's this heavy, strong energy for you Pisces. So you've been listening, you hear the siren call, you know what's at the bottom of the ocean, you know what's rising up with this Venus, you know what those desires are. Venus talks about our desires, right? Venus talks about our values and our desires, and what brings us pleasure, what brings us joy. That is all Venus energy here. And we see that passion on the table here with these Wands cards and all the red coloring between all the cards in our major arcana here with our Emperor. We have all this passion. We kind of know what's going on, but there's no focus. There's no, their choices have not been made yet. We hear the siren call, but we have not made the choice to actually follow what the siren is calling us to do. That's where we're at, Pisces. That's what it feels like here. So we know what's going on, unlike our other water zodiac signs that are trying to kind of figure out what the siren call is. You know what the siren call is. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know what the higher calling is, that deeper purpose, those desires. You know what they are, but you haven't reconciled yet how to go about this process, how to move forward with this process, and how to actually listen to these passions. They're just building up inside, right? If you're thinking about if we're relating it back to water and all this passion energy, it's like the storm just building and building and building, right? It's picking up more rain as it's going over the ocean and turning into this bigger and bigger hurricane of energy that we kind of can't keep contained after a certain point if we're not careful. This is where this Page of Wands energy in reverse comes in, where it's like we can get burned. And this energy can turn, while the cards are showing up in the reverse here, it's not negative at the time, but it does call for a warning where it's like, okay, hey, there's some, if the fire gets too big and we don't have a positive outlet for it, then that's when we get hurt. That's when we get burned. That's when that energy can overtake us, and that's when we burn out. That's when we lose ourselves. We don't have those passions anymore because we can't make these choices that need to be made and move forward in a progressive way, Pisces. So interesting energy here for you. There's some thinking for you to do. You know what the call is. You definitely know what the call is. You kind of know what you are supposed to be doing with this energy, where your pleasures and desires lie. You have them available to you. You know what's going on, but we need to get all these cards in the upright here. We need to work on this energy through the month of November here to get all this energy upright. And look at all these figures if they're in the upright here. Look how strong and determined and focused all these figures are in each of these cards when they're in the upright here. They know what they want. They know what they're doing. They're making deliberate choices and deliberate actions. This is that Two of Wands energy. Deliberate actions to go after what they want and what they truly desire. And with that comes more clarity. We are fulfilling our deeper purposes. That's that Venus energy here. That's that energy that's transforming, actually. Finally transforming into like, hey, we are paying attention to our desires, our wants, our needs, really leaning into that energy. And Venus is love also at the end of the day, right? Love is passion. That is all this passionate energy here as well. That love is present for us and actually leaning into what we love, what we're passionate about, in order to answer the siren call, move forward in a way that is going to keep giving us this love and passion and energy and vitality. These fire cards on the table here are that passion and vitality as well. So for you Pisces, take some time and really make sure, figure out that next step. Figure out that next step for you. Figure out what you need to do, because you need to release some of this tension that's building up here, some of this energy that's building up really, really strong, because we need to let some air out of the balloon here before it pops, is kind of what it feels like. We need to let some of the air out, some of the steam out, so that way we are not overcome and it doesn't explode in our faces here. So take that time, take that breath and make sure that we move forward in a deliberate way. Take the time to actually really think through things and figure out what the next step you need to take here is in order to answer the siren call that you've been hearing, okay? So Pisces, I'll be very curious to see what happens for you for December, but that is all I have for you for this video specifically. Hopefully this resonates. Hopefully it makes sense. But I'll see you next month. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye.